Beautiful. Welcome. Lana Boyack here of the Graceful Living Path. Today I wanted to have a conversation with you about loneliness in relationships. The one thing I want to address here is this deep need that each and every one of us has to be in relationship. We need it for our survival. We need it for our well-being. And Dr. Dean Ornish speaks of one of the greatest maladies that we have is this disconnection from actual, deep, true relationships, and how that appears in the body is manifestation of disease and illness. Dr. Gabor Mate speaks about addiction being the cause of disconnection from intimate relationships, this feeling of not feeling safe in our own body. And so we look to numb out. So when we explore the idea of feeling lonely in relationships, we need to look at a few factors. One being, how are you dealing with yourself? How present are you with your own self? Do you show up for yourself? Do you take time to be present with yourself? Do you explore what your emotions are trying to express to you? What sensations in the body are trying to express to you? What the stories and grooves and habits and patterns and beliefs in your mind are trying to express to you. If we cannot be present with ourselves, it is going to be very difficult to be present in relationships. So that is the first area where we're going to have that disconnect, and there's going to be loneliness. Second one is, how intimate are you with yourself? Do you meet the most deep and vulnerable parts of yourself? Do you support those intimate needs that you have? Connection being one, nourishment, nurturance, love, sense of self-worth. How do you build your own self up? The intimate parts of us are the most vulnerable, raw, and most often needy child parts of us. So if we cannot even nurture, support, love those parts of us and start to mend them and bring them back into wholeness, it's going to be immensely difficult for us to be intimate within our friendships. The next piece is, how trusting are you? If you don't even trust yourself, trust what you feel, trust what you need, trust what you want, trust your inner guidance, trust your awareness and your intuition that might feel like a movement in the gut that makes you feel tight when you're around a certain person or in a particular environment, and suddenly you don't feel safe. Or the opposite, this opening in the body, this sense of enlivenedness, enthusiasm. Literally, the body is opening. If you do not trust what you know to be true for you, it's going to be incredibly difficult to be trusting of others. And this is where it can get dangerous, because if we don't trust ourselves, we will often put our trust in someone or something outside of us to guide us. So if we do not have presence, intimacy, and trust within ourselves, we are looking for it outside of ourselves. Now, this quality of being lonely in relationships that do not meet those parts can mean that we stay in relationships. This could be in our own family as well, that just feel familiar. and comfortable. Now, comfort can also mean that we are comfortable in our discomfort. We are comfortable feeling afraid because we've acclimated to that being our norm. We're comfortable feeling like we have to walk on eggshells around somebody or compromise what we want or need just to feel like we belong. So I'm sharing this with you because we are living in a time right now where intimacy, presence, trust, vulnerability, really deep, honest, truthful, nourishing, nurturing connection really doesn't exist. There are individuals that this is something they still value and they work hard at maintaining. But please check in with the relationship you have with yourself and then the relationships that you share with others around you, and see if they really are offering you their best, their presence, their intimate, most deepest, vulnerable self. And there is trust. This individual is interested in you. They ask you questions. They support you. They don't tell you what to do. They don't utilize and access you just when they need you. Please, your level of showing up for yourself and feeling full and not lonely within relationship starts with you and asking the important questions. Are these the right people for me? Or am I just staying in these relationships because it's comfortable and familiar and I'm afraid to really be alone? And if I can help you, if I can support you, I've been guiding individuals through intimacy, embodiment, spiritual growth, and ascension for over 20 years now. And I've done the work and I continue to do the work. Please reach out, lana@lanaboyack.com, and it will be my pleasure to help you become more whole, more invested, more present, intimate, and self-trusting. Blessings and so much love.